What's up, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to cover recent app sprees that total just over $200,000 in fresh credit funding in Q1 of 2025. Let's dive in. All right, so regardless of what you're hearing in the media and the news about the sky falling and tariffs bad and everything coming to an end, some of that might be true, but regardless, credit funding is still alive and well, my friends. And so I wanted to give you some recent data points and some information from the trenches. So 3 random pieces, and then we'll cover this app spree that you're seeing on the screen. First one, and this was done, I think, last month, to be fair, which is March of 2025. Their scores were 770s, I think 780s across the board. Equifax was 774. 1 inquiry, 23 open accounts, stated income of over $100,000 consistently now for the last 5+ years, 4 years plus for average age of account. These are little things that matter a lot, especially as a credit profile becomes seasoned. And here's what they got. Just a small little spree. I think they're going to do a whole lot more business credit funding coming up, so you'll probably be hearing more data points on that in future videos. $30,000 personal line of credit at 13.9% from Tower. No documentation asked for on this. Again, that's that power of average age of account, larger amount of open accounts, longer period of time sitting in the good to great credit rating, right? Those are all things that you're going to start to notice. You know, obviously W-2s being consistently filed and being consistently filed over 6 figures. You're going to start to notice larger limits out of the gates, lower rates out of the gates, and then obviously that big kicker that everyone always wants is no documentation. There is no longer a double dip, by the way. With Tower, I think it was 2024, 2023, you could double dip off of the same hard pull within 30 days. Obviously, as these credit unions are getting more and more popular, things are starting to change. There's been changes with Wings actually recently as well, and it's all because of the online popularity. They've changed their auto loan program, so do not try and get an auto loan in Wings unless you're up to speed on what's going on, what's changing there. You can find out more if you join the Discord. Yes, it is paid. It's $1 a day. Well worth it. Hope you'll agree. Next, $20,000 credit card at 0% for 12 months with Justice Federal Credit Union, which Justice is another one that's really, really good. Been very popular in our community for the last 1+ years. You'll notice that I don't have a single dedicated video on the channel. We stopped doing that because I was kind of getting sick of directly and indirectly contributing to blowing up banks. So people will take our data points, reshare those in videos that obviously get a whole lot more views than ours and blows up the banks. They asked for pay stubs. That's pretty standard. I think it was the last 2 or 3 pay stubs. And I already gave you the data points on the credit profile itself. So quick 50K out of the gates, right? Easy, no muss, no fuss. Okay, next, some other approvals. Okay, so we got a Langley Federal Credit Union, $10,000 credit card, and a $15,000 personal line of credit. You'll notice the combination of a credit card and a personal line of credit done at the same time is still very popular. 708 was the Equifax scores at the time. Next is we had a new Chase Business Unlimited, 4.5 thousand starting limit, which is very low for the business. There's a lot I could talk about with this business and probably some of the personal credit profile stuff, as well as the business history, maybe the business profit and things like that. But 4,500 for a business credit card starting limit is very low, considering a lot of people will go out of the gates after they've established a business bank rating with Chase, and they'll go and get a $50,000 credit card. So see, that's the difference between the two. A low 700s personal score. This fits. I think he said that he had a Inc. business cash for like 2 years. Don't know the limit on that. Don't know how he's been using it. No real information on that. Okay, next, let's pull up VentureX. Okay, VentureX is Capital One. That should be a hard pull on all 3 unless you magically lock down one of the bureaus or you get a lucky. But he wanted to go with this card because the 10x miles hotels, it fits into his status, fits into, I think, some of his upcoming goals that he's got. But he got a $10,000 limit at 29.24% APR, which is high, but he's sitting at an 813 right now credit score. So would argue that Capital One stuff is usually just pretty high, and you can obviously consistently keep going back and trying to get your rate reduced with them. Okay, so now let's pull up, and I've got a lot of screenshots to share with this, so hopefully the editor can merge all this in between here and make this all work. So I believe this is in order as well. First off, we had Navy Fed flagship denial. So this was to go and get a new card. He wanted the flagship card, got denied. Next, he went to Langley to apply for a credit card there. He was denied, and he reconned that and got $14,000 personal line of credit instead. And so something really, really silly happened there. I won't share it because I don't know if he's embarrassed about it, but this is why we always do recon, because sometimes it's a address mismatch. Sometimes it's we didn't actually activate our debit card on our membership account. Sometimes it is a silly fill in the blank reason, and that is why something got tripped in the system, or our IDs aren't, verified and matching up properly, and then you get this denial, which you think is like this permanent thing, and a lot of times it's not, and it can be reversed. case in point here. Alliant got a $10,000 Visa Platinum credit card. This was a TransUnion hard pull. Account was 6 months old. The Langley, by the way, to take a quick step back, the account was 4 months old. Next was Bank of America, got an unlimited cash rewards credit card, decided to pull the trigger on that. I believe he was pre-qualified for that as well. $20,000. Then he goes back to Navy Fed and says, okay, we couldn't get the credit card, let's try the auto loan, and gets pre-approved for $50,000 through Navy Fed, and then gets pre-qualified as well for $55,000 through DCU, Digital Credit Union, and he's going to keep the DCU out of the two. So technically he got both, but he can't keep both. So he's only going to keep one, and he's going to go with DCU. Then he goes back to Navy Fed again and says, okay, let me try credit limit increase on my cash rewards, which is the green card, and does that over live chat, gets a $6,000 credit limit increase on that. So I believe his limit on that card now is $10,500. And then to wrap it all up, he goes and gets Signature Federal Credit Union Visa Signature card for $15,000. Data points on this is average age of account is 2 years, 3 months. Across the boards, Equifax, it's a little bit higher, it's 3 years. 5 months, age of most recent account. Scores across the board are 708, 743, 745. So, and his utilization is 25%. So I should say that as well. And that's why you see a little bit of discrepancy here. We got some denials, we got a little bit lower limits. The APRs on some of these you're gonna notice are a little bit higher. Again, across the boards, they're credit unions, so they're gonna be much better than what you would expect. But the reason why we're seeing some of these denials and a little bit lower starting limits is because the utilization and the average age of account actually comes and creeps its head in again, because that's very important. DTI is really important with credit unions, and so is average age of account. So yeah, those are the two things. So maybe if the utilization was lower, average age of account a little bit higher, you could have squeezed another maybe 15 to 25,000 out of this whole thing. The Visa Signature really saved it at the end there. But yeah, overall, great app spree. I mean, what is that collectively? I think just over 200,000 between everything that I just shared with you. And hopefully the editor laid in some of the screenshots that we have along the way, because we have a ton of screenshots from this one, which is great. So shout out to all the community members that are winning. Again, it's just case in point that, you know, people are still out there getting credit funding, in the trenches, doing the thing, my friends. Okay, if you've got questions, comment below. If you've got an app spree that you want to share, reach out to us via email. The email will be in the description box. We'll share you, shout you out, feature you all over the channel if you want. We just want to, again, push the information back out to the community, help all of you that are in the trenches still trying to get more and more credit funding. But that's it for this one. While you're here on the channel, watch more videos, comment, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff that helps us grow this thing. And we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.